We love the Proverbs 31 woman, don't we? She was more precious than rubies. She was so sweet on her husband. She was a hard worker. She was about her business. She made money. She took care of her household and everybody in it. She was well respected. Her husband was respected. She was a well-rounded woman. She did everything with grace, good energy, and so much femininity. And the Lord was pleased with her. I watch content. I like seeing people be productive, get organized, and all these things like that. One thing I realized over the years is that a lot of the women that live these sort of productive lifestyles where they make money and they doing all these things are single women. They don't live with their significant other, or they don't have any children. There's also women who have children, who have a husband, and they're doing their thing too. Now, I have my hands and have had my hands in a lot of different things over the years, but throughout my journey, at least, I have been very stressed, very overwhelmed, and just cannot seem to handle everything. I have been on a journey of truly healing, y'all, like really wanting to get past the things that have happened to me and made me the person who I didn't want to be, becoming a better person to myself, taking care of my children the way they deserve to be taken care of, continuing to learn to see if I want to go back into the corporate field or if I want to create my own business and do my own thing God's way. Not to mention being healthy, losing weight, feeling good, just learning how to take care of my hair, skin, and nails. Like, as a woman, all of those things, it's a lot. It's a lot, and we have to do a lot. And every time I find myself going really well in one area, another area of my life, or many times multiple ones, will be falling by the wayside. This is a struggle for many women, but I would say especially for women who take care of somebody. It adds an extra barrier. And through all of this, what the Lord revealed to me was that I needed balance. Sis, you need balance. If you don't have balance now with what you have right now, and you want more, or you believe that God is going to give you more, he is either not going to give it to you because you're not ready yet, or you're going to fumble the bag. There's been so many times where I have been frustrated with myself, frustrated with my life, wondering, why haven't I gotten here yet? What am I doing wrong? I got to a point of humbling with the Lord, and he had to tell me, because you can't even handle what you got right now. How am I supposed to give you more when you can't even handle what you have right now? How is God going to give you more money and you're not even managing well with the money you have right now? How is God going to bring you somebody in your life, like a husband, for you to learn how to take care of him and take care of a home with y'all living together, if you're mismanaging your home right now? You got clothes sitting on the floor right now. You ain't even been eating right. You ain't been cooking yourself food, despite prosperity gospel and all those things and what some of these people and pastors and prophets may be putting out. We all have things inside of us that we know God said to us, that we know God put in us, that we know we are capable of, ways that we are supposed to be living, and things that we know we want to do, that we're supposed to do, and sometimes have to do. I heard this saying, you cannot put your feelings over your purpose. Just because you don't feel right now, just because you don't feel good, does not give you the right to stop doing what God told you to do. Okay, I'm going to be happy and satisfied and get my mind and my heart and my spirit right. It's not my choice to just quit just because things don't look like or feel like I think that they're supposed to. And a great part of it is my own fault, because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do to get my mind, get my heart right. As women, we have so many things to do, y'all. Like, we have so many things to balance, things that we have to do to keep ourselves together. Our appearance, our mindset, the way we speak to people, what we continue to learn and ingest. I can't speak for a man because I'm not a man, but I'm not discounting everything that a man has to do too. And we have a lot to juggle. We multitask a lot, and at the same time we want a lot, which is okay. There were certain times in my life years ago where I would want certain things, but I just didn't want to put too much on God, or to make him think I was being greedy or asking for too much. We don't see God a lot of times as the creator of everything, in the regards that he can handle everything. Like, we know he created everything, so we feel like we don't want to burden him because he already has enough stuff that he's looking over. But he created us, and he thinks of us individually. We don't have the mind or the thoughts or the ways that God has, so we have to understand that we're not a burden, and he wants us to cast all of our cares onto him because he can handle it and we can't. And when we start thinking we can handle everything or do everything, that's when we set ourselves up every time, especially in this day and age now. There's so much going on. Things are really expensive. Women and men are going through a very strange war. People are lonelier than ever. There's always been like a little bit of separation when it comes to the different generations of people, but I think social media has highlighted our differences, like boomers, Gen X, Gen Z, millennials, so that it's created even more of a division between all of us. Things are crazy. Like, girl, we just need to sit back, focus on God, focus on ourselves, focus on what we need to be doing for him, for our family, and for ourselves, so that we can get right with ourselves and with our God to get where we want to go. Most of us have something that we want to do. We want to go back to school. We want friends. We want a relationship. We just want to get closer to Jesus. We want to start a business. We want a great 6-figure job. And all of that stuff is legit. You can have those things. But if you do not get a grasp on balance, you're not going to get it, or you're going to get it and it's not even going to feel like a blessing anymore because it's going to be overwhelming. There's this YouTuber that I watch. She was speaking about her relationships and how she's done with dating for a while. The last guy she was with was a very good guy to her. She had fun with him and she was happy with him and stuff. They didn't work out, but they really could have. She realized that she sabotaged the relationship because she had a belief that she couldn't be as productive and successful with somebody else, like with a partner. Like, she was her most successful and productive when she was alone. When you have someone that has become part of your life that you take care of, that is a responsibility to you, you realize how much harder you have to work to get the things that you need to get done, or even that you want to get done, even if it's something like just sit and read a book. I'm reading a book right now that I have been reading for so long, y'all. I'm not joking, because I have to actually carve out time to be able to read. There's some days where I can only read like 4 pages that night when my son is asleep, when my husband is at work, when my daughter is at school. That is a little block of time throughout my day where I can really drill in and get some stuff done. So I can only imagine somebody who was single and had the choice to be single and had their time filled up, but thought, if it was just me, I can get stuff done. What we need to know about this is that this is hurtful to us, and as a woman, it's very important for us to find balance, especially in our relationships. We have a certain type of heart to be around people, to give people, to serve. God created Eve to help Adam. So when we really love and care for people and like being around them, and we really vibe and connect with them, it's just going to be this pull that almost feels like we can't control it. So when this girl was saying that when she was with this guy, she couldn't focus and do the things that she needed to do, and she would give so much of her time to him and her creative energy, I felt that. I felt that. That's how it was for the longest, and part of it used to make me feel like he was being selfish, because I just felt like, you know, that when we're always hanging out and doing this stuff and watching these shows, that I can't get done what I need to get done, and it would kind of make me resentful about some things. But what I had to realize is that, Gabby, this is on you. This man is not forcing you to do this stuff with him, and that's something that's so important for women to realize in these relationships. Now, if you have an unhealed, unhealthy sort of feminine man, like, he might be upset with you when you say, like, I gotta do something right now, but can we do something later? But a man who really cares about you and sees your vision is going to support you. There's never been a time where I told him, hey, I need to work on my project right now, can we do this later? And he got mad. It was just me wanting him to do it for me. It was me wanting him to take the lead in that way and say, oh, do you need to work on da 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 da, when I needed to strengthen myself to make this routine for myself and actually stick to it. I was letting these other people control my life and control my world because I didn't have the strength within myself to tell somebody no, or tell somebody I have something to do. So you have to be able to find your balance in that relationship. Like, you can't be people pleasing. You can't be giving all of your time to people, because when somebody really loves you and cares for you and wants to be around you, they're going to want to be in your presence and share your time. So unless you make it known that you have something to do or that you're busy, they're going to be there to draw off of your time. They're not going to know unless you make it clear to them. And many times people like to see that you're about your business. People like to see that you're not playing about your stuff. So when you give away too much of yourself, you're making it look like to people that you're just that available. It's so easy to be alone so you can be productive and do the things that you need to be, but it doesn't help you in the end when you know you don't want to be alone, when you know you want all the things. And yeah, sure, if you want to go about your life in a way where you do all of your building and get everything together and well-rounded first, and then go gather all the things and all the people, you can do it that way too. But I promise you, you're going to run into the same situation. You're going to have to find balance. And once you bring these people in and you start seeing things like, oh shoot, I forgot to do this, I need to do that, I want to do this, but I have to spend time with this person doing that, I have to pick the kids up, feed the baby, like all this stuff, then you're going to start getting irritated about how all of these other people are impeding on your life and the things that you have to do. And then you're going to resort back to feeling like you just want to be alone so you can get your stuff done. It might feel good in the moment when you're alone and you're able to be super productive, but being productive like that can mess around and end up making you lonely. The Proverbs 31 woman was a very well balanced woman. It would be too long for me to read to y'all, so I really suggest you go read Proverbs 31 if you never have. But sis was on her stuff. Like, sis was on her stuff. And there was no way she could do all of those things if she didn't have balance in her life. There's a part in Proverbs 31 where it says, her lamp does not go out at night. Now, when I read this, I'm like, does that mean through the night she keeps working towards what she has to do? But I'm also thinking her lamp does not go out at night. Does that mean she's not burnt out at the end of the night? Does she not feel like she has nothing left at the end of the night? Okay, that's dope too, because whichever way you want to interpret that, this lady is a well taken care of lady, okay? Not only is she taking care of herself to make sure that at the end of the night that her lamp does not go out, she has people in her family, in her relationships that are pouring back into her. She has a Lord that is pouring back into her. You got to get rid of the toxic relationships. You can do all these things and try to get all the balance that you want or you need, but if you have people in your life that are adding negativity to your life, not allowing you to be happy, not allowing you to talk about the good things in your life, not allowing you to just be yourself, and not helping you grow, not helping you see yourself and giving you that criticism that you need, but in a loving way, you're hurting yourself. Because you're going to take from yourself by continuing to deal with this stuff and run these records of the things that people are saying to you and doing to you in your head. You got to get your relationships intact. Sometimes you do have to cut people off, and that can be hard, but God can help you do that. It says she is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. Sometimes when we get so productive or so much into our hustle mode, we're not even playing like that. Like, we're not playing with nobody. A well-balanced woman is about her business. She's productive, but she also finds time for fun, for joy, for laughter. As busy as this woman is, this is the NIV version, it says she speaks with wisdom and faithful instruction is on her tongue. This lady is a mentor. She's a helper. And you know what? Saying this right now and then seeing all the things that the Bible says about the Proverbs 31 woman sounds like way too much. But the kicker is, as women, so many of us already have this in us. God designed us to be this way. We are very powerful beings. He knows what we're capable of. He created us. And if you're that type of woman who talks with rigidity, who doesn't speak life and things like that, I'm not going to sit here and say that's totally your fault, because it involves who you were raised by, how you were raised, what things people said to you, and what things left an impression on you or affected you in your life to make you who you are today. But the thing is, at a certain point, once you realize this, you no longer have an excuse to be and stay that way. Especially if you want to be like Jesus, be a woman of God in the truest way and live in happiness and abundance. Like, you can't be like that anymore. And a lot of those ways are addiction. Your body is just doing the same thing it normally does, responding to the same things in the same ways it normally does. So it's going to take time for you to break those habits. It's going to take you time investing in yourself to grow mentally, to grow spiritually, to become a woman who speaks with more love, to be somebody who wants to help and not hinder other people, to not be a hater, okay? Proverbs 31:30 says, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Period. Pooh. Give her the reward she has earned, and let her works bring praise at the city gate. Okay? But you need balance. You need balance. Even if you're not doing all the things that the Proverbs 31 woman was doing, that's totally fine. Sis was getting it in. Regardless of how little or how much you're doing, you need balance. Even people who aren't doing a lot can create situations and things in their mind that makes them feel overwhelmed even though they're not doing a lot, which requires balance of your own mental state. You could mentally overwhelm yourself to the point where you feel like you don't have enough time in the day, or you're super busy, or all these other things, when all you really are doing, if you really think about it and write it down, is getting up, going to work, talking to people on the phone, being on social media, watching TV, and going to bed. Somebody living a life like that, totally overwhelmed and have no balance. Then you can have a single mom, a full-time job and a part-time job with one child, who is also trying to lose weight, who feels like it's a lot for her to take on. So no matter how little or how much you have going on right now, if you want more, if you want God to show you more and give you more, if you want to show God that you're ready and you're prepared for that, you have to do that by getting your mind right. You got to get your spirit and your heart right. You got to start learning. You have to start clearing the toxic relationships. Healing is what you need to do. Start reading your Bible, like getting close to him. And you need to gain some structure or some organization and some balance. Now, if you need help with that, a mentor may be helpful. A mentor doesn't have to always necessarily be a coach or somebody that you're paying for. Somebody in your life that you know who's good at it. Most people who are in our lives don't mind sharing what they know. Start talking to your cousins. Start talking to your friends about things beyond the superficial things y'all might talk about. Talk to a coworker. They might know somebody. Naturally, in the deepest way, we want to help people and we want to serve. Even people who are in gangs. A lot of them involve themselves in that type of situation because they want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. Some sort of team, a family. And the people that are over them, mentor them and teach them things. There's usually a foundation of family and helping one another, at least, you know, in their own group. That's how you know how deep this thing goes as far as like helping people and serving people. And as a woman, God gave you that heart. We just have to learn how to guard it appropriately so that we're not giving too much, so that we're not giving in a way that's hurtful to us and hurtful to God and hurtful to the things that we need to do to get where we need to go. God is serious about you, and he's serious about your life, and he's serious about your future, and he always has been. He's given us so many opportunities to live free and be happy, which is why he sent Jesus. I love y'all so much, and peace and love. I'm out.